Should it be on your YouTube page?
Okay, it's live right now.
Okay, on your YouTube
hey
page
everyone. It's live right now. Yep.
Sweet.
So sorry guys, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but for the second stream, we're gonna keep on improving them. So welcome to our stream, Becoming a YouTuber. So I'll go ahead and introduce everyone on the stream right now. So we have obviously SpeedCubeReview, JPerm, CubeSolveHero, Cubeorithms, Encoded, myself, and we have DailyCuber and TCKyewbs as guests. So it's going to be a really fun stream. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to be dividing the stream into 4 different segments for your convenience. So the first segment is going to be interviews with all of our Team SCS members that we have on the stream. We're then going to be talking with aspiring YouTubers and watching all of their videos and giving them some feedback. So if you left a video link comment as we asked on our social media posts, you will have a chance to have your video be reviewed on this stream, which will be really exciting. So it'll be a really good opportunity to have some of your favorite YouTubers taking a look and give you some good feedback. Third segment will be a trivia game, which will be giving away some gift cards and stuff as last time. So that'll be tons of fun. The fourth and final part will be a YouCuber related game. So we'll also have some prizes for that. So it'll be lots of fun. I hope you guys enjoy. And we'll go ahead and just kick it off with the interview questions. So what we'll do is ask a question and then talk a little bit about how the question pertains to each person on the stream right now. And then they can kind of give their thoughts on it. So the first thing that we have here is that, is it important to have a video introduction? So what we mean is like a short clip that either shows your logo or like a montage, something like that. JPerm, he has no intro, and he's obviously one of the more successful YouTuber channels. So sometimes he has a kind of topic-related intro, but typically no intro. SpeedCubeReview has his short to the point logo, which is nice and sleek and to the point. CubeSolveHero, he's known for his editing, so of course he has the stylish and like really cool graphic-heavy intro. Cubeorithms, he always does his classic writing down the video and just slapping it on the paper, so that's kind of funny and fits with his channel personality. And then for our SpeedCube Shop YouTube channel, we just have our logo on display for ours. So I guess starting from the same order, so Dylan, I don't want to call you JPerm for the entire stream. I guess tell us a little bit about your thoughts and your reason for no intro.
My reason for no intro is because I couldn't think of one that like, or I just didn't want to put in the work, because you have to make one, you have to like edit one together and think of an idea. And I just decided, you know what, this is unnecessary because I'm just making tutorials. I feel like a lot of the people that watch my videos are people who are trying to gain something specific from it and not just like be there for the experience, which I think is different maybe from some other people. Because I know a lot of people really like CubeSolveHero's videos because of the whole experience of watching something really cool. And so I think since my value is not that, I don't feel like an intro is really part of it. It's just I'm just most of the time just delivering information. So I feel like I want to be as efficient as possible. That's what I think.
Awesome. So cool. So thank you for your feedback on that, Dylan. So Sean, SpeedCubeReview, what was the idea, and like how'd you come up with your intro? Did you make it yourself or did you have someone make it for you?
So, before that I had a longer intro. Like I had one that was like, I don't know, it was like 10 seconds or so. And I mainly did that longer one because I didn't know how to start the videos. Like I didn't want to be like, just, hi, okay, we're video starting. Like it was more like an awkward thing I needed to add it to. So I shortened it though because I still felt like it was long. Like no one wants to sit through that. I actually found people were just skipping the intro anyways. And so I made a shorter one. I kind of made it myself with just having the logo like pop in and then have a sound effect. That way it's something quick. What I want to do is have the logo do like a really cool like graphic, but I don't have the abilities for that. But basically I had a short intro because I felt way too awkward just starting right off the bat. So it's kind of my way of getting around that, but I don't think it's super necessary.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. So Brandon or CubeSolveHero, I mean, I don't really think we need much of an explanation because it fits, but tell us about your intro. I'll spoil it, so I know you made it yourself, which is impressive. So I guess tell us about kind of what was your thoughts when you developed your intro, like what was the goal with it?
I actually didn't make it myself.
Really?
Nope. So when I first started, I actually made a really long 60-second intro from like my first like 40 videos.
I remember that.
Had this iMovie Maker, really awkward. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I think it's funny, but it got to a point where I was doing these tutorials that were 2 minutes long with a 60-second intro. So when I started kind of dealing with my editing and kind of going more down that route, I still use, cheaper editors like iMovie. So I really had limited abilities. So I went on Fiverr and found people who make intros, and I just had them make me. I picked out somebody who made me 10 different intros and things that I thought were cool that would really set the pace for my videos. And now I've added sound effects and I've added music behind a lot of these things. So I strip out the audio. But for me, something short that I could do after my intro that kind of really sets the pace for the video. Because again, I do like things being more edited, technical, and visually pleasing. So that really, again, is why I use, a nice little intro.
Cool. So, because you use iMovie to edit, right?
Yep.
So, and we'll talk about this more later on in the stream, but I think that's an important point too, that you don't have to have like Final Cut or Premiere or some fancy software. So, let's say we'll touch on that. But so moving right along, so Nolan or Cubeorithms. So yours is, I would argue, one of the more unique intros. Kind of, how did you come up with that? Like, did you just?
So, with the paper, my relationship with intros is a kind of unique one because when I was first starting off with the channel, I would actually make intros for other YouTubers, and that was part of how I gained publicity and made connections. Is I would reach out to people and say, "Hey, I will make you an intro if you subscribe to me, or maybe we could do like a collab or whatever." So I would actually make these intros, and at first, my intro was the cube on the cube stand with the word Cubeorithms, which eventually came to be my logo, and that's kind of stuck with me this whole time. And I had a bunch of different iterations, but what I always found is that people, and from me watching other people's videos, is that if it's the same intro every time, like the same animation or the same whatever, it's really boring and you just skip it after you've seen a few videos. And so with the paper, what I figured is that it's consistent from video to video. There's always a paper, but writing out the title of the video or what the video is different, and it helps. And then that's the background for the video the whole time. It helps make each video unique while still being consistent. And also the paper has a connection to the animation side of my channel because animations are drawn on paper. So that's another connection. I don't remember ever like having the idea. It's just something I did one time and I've been doing for a little over a year.
That's cool. It's interesting to hear what the thought process was behind it because it totally makes sense. Like it doesn't seem out of place at all. So it's just like, it's so cool to hear the thought process. I know for our SpeedCube Shop channel intro, it's not really quite, it's just more so I think that because we are a business, we like just to have kind of a simple, clean little intro to reminding people who's making the video and everything to make it clear that it's from us. I also like it because the way I record videos is I like to be able to have like kind of like an intro that I can, like an intro as a part of the video, if that makes sense. So I'll say something and kind of talk about like what we're going to do in the video. Then being able to roll an intro, a short clip, to kind of like split it up, I find is really helpful just for how I enjoy filming. But I think at the point that we've established through this conversation so far is that you don't need an intro to be a successful YouTuber. And if you have an intro, you probably shouldn't make it 60 seconds. But I think that you have a good point, Nolan, that if it's too long and it's the same thing over and over again, people skip it and then they might risk skipping like a critical part of like the actual introduction of your video, and then it could get messy. I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, I also play around with when I bring it in. Like I might do it at the very beginning of the video, or I'll do it after I say a few words. Like I'll always tie it in somewhere, mostly to go with the music I'm playing. So like my music inspires me and really tells me where I'm going to be putting that intro. So it's never really consistently the same, even though the format is the same. So
Right. Yeah, I know that we do add like some color into our intro. To kind of as a subtle hint for like, the cubes have colors obviously, but yeah, so moving right on then to the next topic that we have, the next question is going to be, this is I think a really interesting one because it's something that is going to affect a lot of our viewers on stream. So do you have to be fast at solving to be able to be qualified to review products?
Well,
So
do anyone talk or just want to call on someone?
well, let's go ahead and start off. So we'll start off with CubeSolveHero. So what do you think?
Wow.
I mean,
I realize that was an unintentional roast, but
no. I mean, like, I'll call it like it is. I mean, I'm probably averaging about 25 seconds, and up till about a year ago, I was averaging 45 plus seconds. But I mean, it didn't discount my content. I'm not here to teach you how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I'm here to present these cubes in a really cool artistic way. So for me, my channel is very entertainment heavy versus very, technically heavy. But still, like now that I have experience, I've got hundreds of cubes behind me. I have a lot of experience now. So my experience with cubes isn't really discounted with my ability to solve them quickly. However, I do enjoy doing those average of fives at the end, just to get roasted in the comments, because I know it's going to happen.
Hey, comment's a comment, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So Nolan, what do you think about the speed in regards to making a product review?
I'm sorry, you kind of cut out. Were you asking me?
I was, yes.
Oh, great.
I thought you were stalling for time.
No. So my thoughts about this is, so I'm not extraordinarily fast, and my times haven't improved in a long time. But I think that a lot of times with a product review, say for like a new 3x3, people are watching just to kind of see if it's good, like if it's worth buying. And I don't think you need to be super fast to be able to determine like this is a good 3x3 or not. I think that if it also kind of depends on what kind of style of review you're going for, because if you're going strictly like informative, it does help to be fast because you know what good means. Like, I mean, anybody can turn and say this feels good. Pretty much any puzzle coming out these days will be true. But if you're like fast, and I can't speak from experience, but I would assume if you're like sub 10, there's little inconsistencies and things that you pick up on a little bit more.
Sure.
But generally, whatever speed you are, you can still tell people your thoughts about a puzzle. And just because you average around like 40 seconds, a minute, whatever, if you like, I mean, knowing how to do finger tricks is probably something that you should do if you're going to make a review, because that'll help you to be able to actually feel the cube.
Yeah,
what it really feels like.
One interesting kind of note about this is I've learned from my trips to the manufacturers in China, the people that actually design these speed cubes are typically not very fast. So it's very common, like for one designer I know in particular, averages about 30 seconds and can design a flagship 3x3 speed cube. So I think that the fact that that's the case also, it just kind of highlights and supports that point, which I thought was interesting. So Sean, you made it very clear that you're just all about having fun. You're not looking to be the best, and that avoiding burnout is an important thing for you. So what are kind of like, do you have anything to add, I guess, for the topic?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I remember when I started, like a few months in, I wasn't super like into trying to get fast. I got to like a minute and a half, and I'm like, holy cow, like this is faster than I ever thought it'd ever be. I got to like 20 seconds. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I didn't think I'd ever get here. And every time I've hit a milestone, it's just been like this surprise of like, oh, well, this is kind of nice. And so I feel like as far as speed, yeah, I'm not super worried about trying to get to the next level, and I don't think it really hinders my ability to review puzzles, because you can still feel how they perform. And someone who turns really fast, who solves really fast, if they're a good solid cuber, they're also solving pretty accurately. I think people like think that, the speed really makes a huge difference, but I feel like it doesn't hinder what I do as a reviewer, or even just yeah, actually about that's it. I can't think of what else I do.
Sure. And so, Kevin, QB Encoded, Kevin, what do you feel like? Because I mean, you're a good SpeedCuber. Do you think that really contributes to the quality of your reviews?
I feel like for how fast you are, you could average 2 minutes, you could average 10 seconds. It doesn't really matter how fast you are. All that matters is that the video itself is good. I think the exception to that is just doing like review or like doing tutorial videos. Maybe you do need to be a little bit quick to do those type of videos, but everything else about cubing, you can average whatever you want.
For sure. So, Dylan, JPerm, what do you think? Because I think you're the fastest out of all of us.
I think he's out. Oh,
Yeah,
there.
up here he comes. He's getting back connected. He's having technical difficulties.
Cool. Well, while he's getting back online, DailyCuber, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's all relative. So, for example, if you're an 8-second solver and then you have someone who's watching who is about 8 seconds, you can better describe the feel of the cube to that person. Whereas if you're like 20 seconds and someone around the same speed is watching that video, they can kind of better get the understanding of how that cube feels because of the same speed. So I think it's all relative. However, generally people can review cubes at any speed as long as they know what they're doing.
For sure. So, Dylan, I had asked you, not realizing that you were offline for a second. Oh, there he goes.
And he's gone again.
Well, Dylan's really fast, and we'll leave it at that. We can come back. But I would say, though, that, typically I think that having a goal to be fast at speed cubing is definitely fun, and it's something that you should strive to always be improving your times. It's good, I think, setting expectations and creating goals and having the satisfaction of breaking through your goal, and but it also teaches like patience when you get stuck at a plateau and you're not able to break through like to sub 20 or whatever. So I think just the biggest thing is that considering most people are just cubing recreationally, I think just to wrap it all up, that I think we've very clearly established by now that your times don't really matter. But the one contributing factor is that you might be more relatable to some people in your audience, depending on what your speed is. So people might go to Dylan's videos if they're looking for someone who is a dedicated SpeedCuber, sub 10 averages. If they want to hear their thoughts, then they might go watch Dylan. Whereas if they're wanting to, just get like a generic from someone who's still very respectable in speed, they can go to Sean or anybody. You know what I mean? So I think it really does play an important role, and was definitely a very, I think, important topic to cover. So the next one I have is going to be reviewing non-premium and products that aren't flagships. So this could be like the weird stuff, right? It could be like the bottom of the barrel 3x3s or kind of weird twisty puzzles. So is it always important to actually make a review? Have you ever come across any products that you just have been like, I can't review this? Because obviously it was about saying that making honest content is paramount, right? So let's go ahead and we'll go back to Sean. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, there's sort of two different sides to this. There's the more budgety puzzles, and there's I guess two sides to that. It's important to review them because some people, that's the budget that they are going for. So even if it's a $3 puzzle, that's going to be what a lot of people can afford. Plus, a lot of those budget puzzles are quite good. I mean, the new ones, the MS line from Chi is fantastic. There's also ones that are just sort of more specialty. So like the SpeedCube Shop Spring 3x3. This is more of a budget puzzle, but I was just using it today and I was having a ton of fun using it, especially with the different colors. I have had times when I don't usually review puzzles, and it's not so much the puzzle itself, but ones that I know are kind of released, and I'm just not going to. I don't know. There are certain ones that I think I know if I make a review, it's just going to be like, this isn't great. Like I've unboxed a few that I've said that I'm like, just don't get this one.
I wanted to start with you because you're just like, we always talk about how you're just sent random stuff. Like stuff will just show up in your mailbox, and you're like, "Who sent this to me?"
Yeah, but yeah, there's been a couple times. I think there's a Pyramix once I unboxed it. I was like, I don't know why they would even make this. This is not great. But yeah, I've gotten some weird things that aren't cubes that I've got a wig once. That was great. But I think it's really important because for some people, that's either the budget, that's what they're going for. But also there's a lot of surprises. I sometimes will unbox things that I don't think are going to be really that big. And then I check it out. And I was like, this is actually really nice. People should check it out.
For sure. So Brandon, you're sort of in the same boat. I know you've told me about some of the stuff you've received, and it's actually worked out in a positive note for you from the occasions we've discussed. So, like, what do you think about being able to give a negative review on something should you choose to make a video on it, but not just be like ripping it apart?
Yeah, I mean, when I give a negative review on something, it's mainly a kind of a lighthearted negative review because nowadays it's so hard to have a bad experience with really any cube. I would say all cubes budget to premium are good speed cubes, give or take certain things. When you're used to using really expensive cubes that are really good, but like the Maylong 3x3, $4 budget cube, I put 96 magnets in it, and I absolutely love this thing. And I use this thing. I use this thing a lot, and especially the Chi, that new MS puzzle. These are great. So, for the price, I love seeing these more premium puzzles drop down in prices, or budget cubes that are still premium cubes. But I know that wasn't the question. I got lost in the beauty of these budget puzzles.
No worries. So, Kevin, I'm curious, have you ever made a review on something that you at first didn't really think you enjoyed it, and then after further examination or a setup that someone did for you that you really liked and you changed your mind? Has that happened to you? And if so, how have you handled that?
Yeah, so I've had a few cubes where I first did the unboxing, it wasn't great. Then I got a bunch of comments saying that I had to set it up first, so then I set it up, did a review, and the review was a lot more positive than the unboxing, that's for sure. But it's just really being honest, I'm honest in the unboxing when it's not good, and I'm honest in the review when it is good.
Yeah, I think that's also an important thing of why typically the unboxings are separate from the review. It gives you time to make that, that decision if you do change it, if you do change your mind. I mean, so do you have any thoughts on this, Daily?
I'm kind of still confused about the question, but I guess.
Well, here. So let's ask it this way. But before you were sponsored, and before, like, if you weren't buying flagship cubes and stuff, what were you making content about before you received the sponsorship?
All sorts of different stuff. I used to do some challenges, some interesting videos, but mostly my unboxings were the biggest hits. But I think if a cube isn't premium, just be honest about it. It's great to have a review on even the cubes that people don't know as much, just so that if someone's thinking that it's a good cube and they go review it, look at a review on YouTube for it, and they may be able to figure out if it's actually good or not.
Right. And the last question I have is your opinion on reviews being overly positive or overly negative. And I'm going to go ahead and pass this one off. What do you think, Nolan? Then we can kind of all give our thoughts on it.
Yeah. So I think with a review, it's important to have positive energy, like in your video making. You want people who are watching your video to feel good while they're watching it. If you're super negative or if you're talking really monotonely or whatever, it can hurt the video. And if you're saying that the cube is terrible and you're just talking about everything that's bad about it, that can leave people kind of feeling bad. And if you're overly positive, it can kind of I guess, hurt your credibility if you're always saying this cube is the best cube ever. I think the most important thing is to, have good energy, be up and be positive, but also to be honest about your actual experience with the cube. You can pick different criteria, how it turns, its corner cutting, what you think of the price, how it feels, whatever, and just be honest about your experience with it. If you really like it, you can say you really like it. But your job isn't to, I guess, don't try to sell it too hard. Just be truthful.
I agree, and I mean now the SpeedCube Shop YouTube channel is officially active. I've been kind of struggling with this because obviously being a shop owner, it's tricky for me because giving an honest review, whether you're emailing us or we're talking into competition or if I'm making a YouTube video, that's always the most important thing for me. But I've been receiving pretty much good cube after good cube, and I'm just like, man, you can't review something negatively just because. But I did just get a certain 4x4 that I made a review on, which will be up soon. And I really wasn't that big of a fan. But I did make sure to say that, hey, even though it's not right for me, here's what it feels like. Here's the characteristics. Either try it out yourself, or maybe this sounds like it would be appealing to you. So I think that being able, just like I say, staying truthful to yourself is the key point, and just it'll vary depending on what product that you're doing, but honesty is always the best policy, and not letting any personal relationships with a company, manufacturer, whatever, getting in the way of the content. Because if you're going to make the video, I think that's your responsibility as the content creator to deliver that honest review. So I presume we all kind of agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I can quick just say one other thing is that if you have a puzzle that you don't really like that much, you can still make a video on it. And I think a lot of times, at least from my experience, I've gotten really hung up on, should I even make a video about this? I don't really have that much to say about it. But negative reviews can be just as helpful as really positive reviews. And when people are watching reviews, they're trying to make the decision of, should I get this puzzle? And if you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to gain subscribers and, gain success, make all the videos you can. And even if a video is if you're on the fence and if you think it might be a negative video, I think you should still make it and tell people what you think.
I agree. And so TCKyewbs has joined us. So everybody first say hi to her in the chat. And so it's nice to have you on. So we kind of want to rope you in to this topic, which is just how to handle if you receive a product that's making it overly positive or overly negative video. Do you have much experience with the GAN 460 PC? I can't quite remember. So that was a super mixed, that cube was really received differently by several different people. I know Dylan did not like it. So kind of what do you think about the GAN 460 and how did you handle your impressions of it? I agree. And let me just double check. Can everybody in the chat hear TC?
Yes.
I know we can hear, but I want to make sure that the
Someone said they can't hear anything. People are saying,
so I just
no,
wanna
oh,
make
no,
sure.
no.
Okay, yeah, I want to make sure before we continue.
Oh, here's all the no floods. So, I don't know. I can hear you, so I don't know.
Try to do the mute and then unmute.
Okay, everyone stop saying no for a second so we can get a new poll going.
Well, there's a delay, so.
Let's see. It wouldn't be a live stream if there wasn't technical difficulties. So we're going to have the stream moderator check on the audio thing to make sure that we can get your audio fixed. So I guess let's just move on then to the next question. We can come back to that one. So I think that what you said was valuable, TC. So how knowledgeable do you have to be in order to review a cube? So like what kind of research are we doing? So I guess I'll start again with Brandon. So like what kind of research do you do before you make a review? Do you check like product history, such as if there's previous variations, like a Thunderclap version 1 and 2 before you review the Thunderclap version 3, or how do you handle that?
I mean, before I started getting a lot of these cubes, I would do more research, but now that I have experience with all these cubes, my experience is more up here. Now, like the things I do get online are like, the size, the weight, and in the more recent history, I've purchased like a scale and a size measuring thing. So now I could actually measure and weigh my own cubes, just for complete accuracy. But it's just a stat point because no one really cares if the cube weighs 83 grams or 84 grams. It's just something to put in your video.
I care.
But yeah, but I mean, it is good to do your research. But I mean, I think, like we were saying before, the best thing to do is just put your personality out there. People aren't subscribing to you because you're the most technical or the most thorough, I guess. I mean, people just like you. If they connect with you, they like your personality and what you have to offer. That's what's going to grow your community, not necessarily whether or not you reverse corner cut it on a cube, which I get a lot of heat for. So I'm trying. So there's some things I don't even think about when I'm doing things. So. But
okay, so let's see. Well, so Sean, I guess, like you have a huge collection. So comparing a cube to others is like you're the perfect person to ask. Like when you make a comparison between one product and another, what do you factor in to make that like connection?
So yeah, for me, I feel like it's really important to compare it to older models. So, like when the YouCuber EDM came out, I was immediately looking at the YouCuber Pro and the YouCuber, and I kind of avoid comparing it to other ones at this like the same that are other like top tier cubes in other companies at the moment. It's usually just what is it like for that one and how it's changed. Some of them change really greatly. Like they completely redo the design, and some are just small tweaks like the new Dian Tengyun. But to me, like that's sort of the big thing that I want to focus on. I want to make sure that I know the history of it. I've been doing it long enough where most of the cubes I had the previous ones, and like I can go through this whole collection and name like almost all of them without a guide because I know how they look and think that sort of thing. When I started, it was that too. I made sure that I bought a bunch of puzzles to start off because I wanted to make sure I knew what was out there and what the differences were.
Interesting. So what about having the ability to solve each and every puzzle either not necessarily quickly, but like it'd be kind of hard to make a review on something that you can't really solve. What are your thoughts on that, Kevin?
Yeah, so I definitely think that my best events are 5x5 and 6x6. So when those cubes come out, I think I have like a better opinion of like how those cubes perform versus if I was reviewing something like a Pyraminx or a 2x2. And like everyone could still review any cube, And I think that it's best to review cubes that you do personally a lot. Like, if you practice a lot of square root 3, review a lot of square root 3s. If you've never solved a square 1 before, maybe don't review a square 1.
Yeah, and it's funny because I just was going to say, I was going to use square 1 as an example that, yeah, so yeah, you read my mind because it's funny because Dylan didn't know how to solve the square 1, and he made a little video learning how to solve it. In case anyone in the chat didn't see that, it's definitely a good one to watch. So something I'm curious about is there an expectation difference when you're dealing with a budget cube or a flagship? So Sean, I know that you've gone on the record saying that you don't test budget cubes with a setup applied because you have the opinion that if you're buying a budget cube, most unexperienced cubers that are going to flock to those don't necessarily know how to set them up. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts? Like, do you treat budget cubes the same as flagships, or do you kind of review them only against other budget cubes?
Well, for like the initial review, I usually don't do much setup at all, or don't do any setup, just because I want to see what it's like just like that. But when it comes to a bigger comparison or bigger testing, I will do a full setup with it. And I think it's gotten to a strange point, though, where the difference, I think, between it's changed recently. The difference between budget puzzles and top tier puzzles are almost more of just the ability to adjust the springs, elasticity, magnets. Back maybe just a couple years ago, there was a performance difference, and I think it was on purpose of like, these are going to be cheaper because they don't perform as well. So the way I'm reviewing them is probably going to have to change in the next year, of actually doing comparisons of $10 puzzles and $60 puzzles and seeing what the difference is between them, instead of here's all the really expensive ones and here's all the really cheap ones.
Yeah, and before we go on, I want to hear from you, Daily. I have the GMS series right here behind me. And the 3x3, I really enjoy it. Brandon and I were talking about this the other day. This is an amazing cube for $8. I mean, I'm still shocked this is an $8 cube and it performs as well as it does. Now, as amazing as the performance is, if you're in a position to be using something like a GAN XS, am I going to pick up my GAN XS over this if I'm specifically either going to a competition or if I'm striving to get a good time? Probably not. But the feel that this cube has, I enjoy the feel more than the GAN XS, like the turning, but the performance of the XS is better. So I think that that's also kind of an important dynamic to just disclose, is that like, I really like this cube as a whole, but even though it's really, really, really good, it still is an $8 cube, and it's going to have $8 cube setbacks like plastic molds and overall just quality. So with that, DailyCuber, what are your thoughts on the whole like, budget cube versus flagship, comparing them and all that?
Yeah, I think you have to put into perspective like your audience, what they're going to be looking for. A budget cube, it's not going to be as good as the GAN XS. I mean, the MF3RS2M was my main for a long time. And it was almost as good, and it was pretty much up there on performance as long as it was set up well. But it was, I would say it's almost as good. So for some budget cubes, they're actually really good. However, some other ones are not. I'd probably say, like, for the initial unboxing, probably put out how good the cube is compared to other budget. For example, how it is compared to the pricing, rather than, a GAN XS, which is $60, and that's going to be much higher, a higher level, a higher bar to kind of be on, basically.
So before we wrap up this topic, I want to come back to you, Sean. I know I've seen this on the cubing Facebook groups and everything, and so we do have Dylan JPerm. in, so hopefully we can get his camera to work, guys. So cross.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Man, we can hear you. Finally, the man of the hour is finally here. So if everyone, really quickly, while we wrap up this question and we'll hear Dylan's thoughts. I got someone said, well, someone said, where did Father JPerm go, which is hilarious. Well, while we have you here, Dylan, I'm going to ask you. We were asking about when you do reviews, you tend to review like budget cubes and flagship cubes. You kind of put them all on the same playing field and you review them appropriately versus like only comparing them against other budget cubes. Is that like a fair statement?
People can't hear JPerm right now.
Oh my gosh. I'll translate. Father JPerm just dropped some knowledge. Oh, man. I think it's just, again, I apologize, everyone. It's tough doing these streams. There's so many different people involved. Trying to operate with 8 people to give you as much content as possible. And I think it just has its setbacks, unfortunately. So I do apologize. Is there anything that you want me to summarize that for them, Dylan?
Hang on. Are they able to hear me yet?
Okay, you're live, but let's see. So we'll take a quick break.
There he is.
So wait, they can see you now.
I can hear him.
Oh wait, so I have Veronica in the room. You can hear Veronica?
Yes.
Veronica can hear you. I think that we should be good.
Okay.
Okay,
well,
you're good. If you can rehash that, Dylan.
can the chat hear me? Because
I'm saying they can.
They can? Oh, sweet.
Yeah, they're all saying yes.
Okay, so I was saying that I find the 2 most important things are whether the cube provides anything completely unique that you can't get from any other cube, because some people are willing to pay slightly more for that. For example, the Tengen Super Quiet, and I really like it for that. And then the other thing is it better than every other cube at the price range? Because I may make comparisons from a cheap cube to an expensive cube, but I'll make most of the comparisons within that cube's price range. All right, yeah, that's it. Did that
All
work?
right, makes sense. It did work. So I think, has everyone said their piece on those topics? I think that with all that, we're kind of over it. We're ready to move on?
Yeah,
I was going to ask you one thing, Sean. I was going to say that, in my mind, I always laugh. So I know you as the guy that's like, you don't need an again access to be sub 10. You can get a sub 10 with a Guanlong. So with that being said, what's your opinion about like corner cutting, having a rough, aggressive turning style? Because I see a lot of YouCubers that just are, going at it. So do you think that plays a bit of a role in the performance people get out of the budget cubes?
Well, yeah, first I'll say that if you are inspired and encouraged more to practice with, again, XS or you want to really mess around with the puzzle and do a bunch of adjustments, get whatever you want, get whatever inspires you. If you want to use whatever Felix is using, because that will encourage you to practice more, do it. So don't feel like you can't or you shouldn't get one with that. But I think people forget that when puzzles I'll just keep using the GAN XS, ones like that can be more flexible. It doesn't mean that it's actually going to perform better. Things that can corner cut more can also bind up more easily if you are inaccurate while you're turning. So if you're inaccurate while you're turning, no matter what the puzzle is, it's going to cause lockups and issues. So I don't think the puzzle makes a huge difference with that. And actually, if you start with something that is more stable, more, let's say, lots of times budget ones are more stable, you can work on that accuracy. Now, with that said, because of the adjustments that you can have, if you get something like the GAN XS, you can put it on the tightest tensions, work on your accuracy, and then kind of loosen up from there. So maybe it could be good to get one of the higher end puzzles where you can adjust it, because then you can kind of adjust it as you go, as you progress. But yeah, I have a really big issue when people say their turning style is rough. Like, no, that just means your turning style is bad. Like, you need to work on accuracy. It's not a style, it's just inaccurate.
I like your training style, Sean. It reminds me a lot of like the older school cubers, because we had to be accurate. We didn't have like magnets and all of these crazy corner. We were using like Rubik's cubes with screws and springs in them, like joy cubes and all that stuff. So we had to be accurate. So I like your training style a lot.
Thank you.
So this one is these are all really interesting, but this one I think will put a lot of things into perspective for everyone that just wants to be a YouTuber, thinking that all that goes into it is you ask for a sponsorship, you get free stuff, you make videos, and you mic drop it. So tell us about the amount of work that is needed to operate and maintain your channel. So the first kind of point is, can you have content without reviewing new products and unboxing? Some YouTubers, I hear it all day, every day, that, oh, hey, can you sponsor me? Because if not, I can't make a video unless I have Cube stuff to open. So let's go ahead and kick this one off with Brandon.
Yeah, my channel was built on the Chi Warrior. So, I bought a $5 budget cube, kind of getting back into cubing, because I've been cubing a long time casually, but kind of like, oh, I'm going to buy this cheap Chi thing, and I called it the Kiwi, and obviously I still to this day get roasted for that. Like, it's not Kiwi, it's Chi. But I just made tutorials kind of teaching things that I was learning. And it was obviously a slow growth, but my first video was comparing 3 budget cubes, and that was the first one that really took off. So I had a Chi Warrior, a MF3RS2, and something else. Maybe a Yushin Little Magic. But they're all at the time, they were all kind of cubes that had been out for a while, and I just presented the cubes in a different way. So you don't have to have great cubes or the newest product to stand out. Just be original. Add value in a different way. Don't necessarily add value, copying my videos or Dylan's videos or SpeedCubeReviews or anybody else's. Just find a way to do it yourself. Be original. Have fun with it. If you're not having fun, that will translate.
That is true. So, Kevin, I have a question for you. You've been putting out a lot of content recently. How do you keep producing good content while pumping out so many videos at a time?
Well, right now there's definitely time. I have basically 16 hours a day to work on videos, 8 hours of sleep, and I'll use maybe 5 or 6 hours of that time to make videos, which honestly is not that bad at all. And I think a lot of it is just, when you're making one video, you're always thinking of the next one. So you're always having new ideas, new inspirations. Another thing I like to do also is if I'm having a bunch of ideas at that time, I just make multiple videos at once, and then I could just schedule it out, one day at a time, so I could keep the uploads consistent. And Another thing is just being fast at filming, being fast at editing. I've made hundreds and hundreds of videos at this point. So, now everything is just the same process. So I could just edit, without really thinking. I could film without thinking. And it's all just, being efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting perspective on that. And I definitely, right now, the SpeedCube Shop YouTube channel is sitting on 6 videos that are all edited, but it's it's so hard resisting the urge not to release them all at once, but you got to space it a little bit. So Nolan, what are your thoughts on people that experience fatigue and burnout, and have you personally ever experienced that when it comes to making videos?
Can you repeat the question? I got the first part, but you kind of cut out for the last part.
Pretty much, have you experienced fatigue, like burnout on making videos?
Yeah. Burnout definitely comes in waves. It happens to everybody. It's happened to me a couple times. And I think some of the best ways to recover from it, first of all, is to just take a break and do something else, not YouTube related, for a while. It could be for a couple days or weeks, because it might hurt your channel a little bit to not upload for a few weeks, but if you're really trying to force it and record videos when you're not feeling it, you're just gonna make videos that aren't your best work. So taking breaks when you're feeling burnout is really important. And then also trying to come up with new ideas, different kinds of content. I think there have been times where I've gotten tired of just like the reviews and unboxing type videos, and making those over and over again can get kind of old. And that's where having other kinds of content like animations or just like a sketch video where you kind of spice things up and act some stuff out can be a lot of fun. Just coming up with ideas.
Like, that was a great segue too, Nolan, that you gave me. So I gotta take it. So Dylan, you are like a walking encyclopedia to me. So tell me about the time that it takes for you to like research, all the different topics to make videos on, because you're, obviously known as like a teaching channel, right? So what kind of time investment do you make to really research the topics that you're teaching people about? You must, be pretty invested.
Well, I just know everything, so it doesn't take a lot of time.
There we go.
No, but I've been cubing and trying to learn stuff for like my whole life. So in terms of cubing knowledge, like a lot of the time, it's like not that hard to figure out what's the right thing to teach, because I'm not teaching somebody who's faster than me or at my level. Usually I'm teaching people closer to beginners or people just coming up. So there's a lot of things that I don't know, it might seem like I'm coming up with something new, but it's actually just like things that I've been aware of for years, but I just never saw a video on it. So it's like, I think a lot of people at the same speed in cubing as me would be able to come up with the same things. It's just for some reason I'm not seeing it. So yeah.
Interesting point. So Sean, what's your feeling on like the social media side of running a YouTube channel and just the overall upkeep of like replying to comments, interacting with your viewers, and because I see you, it's like a full-time job for you on whether it's the comments or like chats.
Yeah.
You're everywhere, man.
Yeah, I used to on Facebook, like anyone who wanted to friend request me, I was like, sure, it was great. And then like people would write me messages asking for help, and I'd be like, sure, I will help you out. But literally every day I'd wake up and there'd be about 15 to 20 messages of people wanting like full conversation chats, and it burned me out. And so I literally removed 2,500 people from my Facebook friend list. And now I focus on some of the Facebook groups because I don't have to be there all the time. Like I like to moderate it. I like to help out, and I'll do things on Instagram, but like I have not done Discord yet. I don't really do too much with my actual Facebook page. I don't use Twitter. I'd like to, but I just feel like I tend to not do things part way. And so I start to do a little bit and I get so sucked into it, and then I can't like break off. So I need to like restrict my own self from doing it. I still, when people message me like on Facebook, I will still converse with them and try to help them out. But it's much less now that there's not like 2,500 people on my friends list that I have no idea who they are really.
Dude, I used to do the same thing. I had my Facebook page open for messages, and at some point I was like, yeah, I could message 50 people at once. But then a little while after that, it was just completely not manageable. And I would like reply to everybody once a month, to the point where I was just like, never mind, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Including me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't reply to Cameron.
No. So, and I can add on to that too, because being a store owner, so the same thing as you, Sean and Dylan, it's like I try to respond to any messages of people if they find my Facebook profile and they message me and stuff. Like I'll try to do what I can to help, but it's I don't think people realize the amount of messages that you could get on like a daily basis. I mean, at one point I was seeing like 100 just, whether it's Facebook comments and messages coming through, because people use that as like a customer service line. And the tricky thing for me is that when you're delivering a service, it's like I don't check my personal Facebook for work because it's personal, right? So it's like drawing that line and setting expectations, I think, is super important, because the last thing that any of us want is for anybody to feel like they're being ignored or that like our time, like we can't take a second to reply. People say, I think, to have an understanding that like it could feel high volume and just isn't manageable for like a one-person operation to have those full conversations. And to wrap up this topic, so DailyCuber, you're putting in a lot of work recently to continue building up your channel. How has the workload been for you, and have you done anything this time around differently than before that you've seen has worked, or like tell us about kind of your new journey?
Yeah, I used to slack off a lot, and so it's like when I made my videos, I'd be like, oh, it's just too hard to make another one. But this time around, I'm trying to come back with more consistency, once or twice a week, and then try to continue that. And then on Instagram, I do make daily posts as well. So I'm active on Instagram and YouTube. So it's a good amount of work, but it's worth it to help out the community, and it's fun making videos.
Right on. So we're gonna have TCKyewbs will be joining us very shortly for the next topic, and that's gonna be dealing with criticism. We've all seen it. We've all been on the receiving end. Brandon gets roasted for calling things kiwis, and
He deserves it though.
We all have like our flaws, I guess, right? So the first thing is, was it harder when you were just starting out to handle the criticism, or did it get more difficult as time went on? So I guess, Dylan, let's have you go first on this one.
Okay, I can think of a few instances where I got more criticism than usual. So one time was when I first started. I uploaded my first 2 videos and posted them to the speed solving forums, and so nobody knew who I was or how fast I was, and I was trying to give tips on how to get faster. So naturally, if I give tips that people don't usually hear, then they would question that. So one of the things I said was like, use your right hand more than your left hand, even if you're equally good at both, because it's counterintuitive. Why would you not use more resources that you have? But it's because of like regrips and stuff. So anyway, people didn't believe me, and I got criticized for that. But then I remember I was like, is this valid criticism, or is this like is this like just people don't trust me? So there's like 2 ways to go about it. One is like kind of look into yourself and think, okay, is this like, am I doing the right things? Am I worth being criticized? And another thing is maybe you haven't shown people why they should be behind you. So in that particular instance, I remember I just uploaded like a sub 10 average and everyone shut up. But then there have been other instances, like for example, I don't remember which reviews, but sometimes I say I ended up being like too harsh on a review or something, and people would call me out on that and be like, yeah, that's probably true. Sometimes I like feel a certain way about my review averages, and then I get a cube, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not in the right mindset to make a fully objective view. So.
What cube was that you went harsh on? Can you remember?
I don't remember. I go harsh sometimes. Like I go extra harsh sometimes, and I don't know why. But it's just.
I think the Tangyun V1 kind of triggered you, didn't it?
The what?
Tangyun version 1.
Tangyun?
Yeah.
Maybe. I haven't. I rewatch my videos sometimes, and I haven't rewatched that one. So maybe I didn't like it. I don't know.
I have them on just like revolving like laps in my room.
Perfect. Well, I know there was the MGC V2 that you came to my video and I was like, I think it's fine, and you commented, you're like, yeah, actually, you look like you're doing fine with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I hated
it. And yeah, so that's a good. Well, I guess we won't go back to that topic. So while we're staying on topic of the criticism, hey TC, can you say hi and make sure
what's up? Can you guys hear me now?
So we'll wait for the delay. So we can hear you. We want to make sure everyone else can in the stream. So we'll wait for the wall of the yeses or nos.
I've got a comment on the criticism thing.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Okay, I'm getting some yeses.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
We
okay,
can hear
awesome.
you.
Sounds like you can
Okay,
hear me
you're
now.
good to go. So,
Finally.
did you hear the topic, TC, or do you want me to repeat it?
Okay, can you go ahead and repeat it? I think the lag.
The topic is dealing with criticism and like how do you handle negative feedback or any criticism on your videos or in any capacity for your YouTube career.
Yeah, so I guess just kind of circling back to a little bit of about what I said before. Everyone's going to have their own opinions on it, whether you're giving a review on a cube that's maybe not the mainstream perspective, or you just have a certain style that people aren't really liking. It's kind of inevitable that people are going to have very, very different views on a certain subject. So if it's like a cube that you think is bad, but a lot of people think it's good, you just stick with it. It's up to you whether or not to have that certain opinion. And you're really not obligated to go and stick with the status quo. So I guess just in terms of actually dealing with the criticism, it definitely was hard in the beginning, just when I first started YouTube, and I just had to realize that you're a YouTuber for a reason. You have your own perspective and you have your own thoughts, and you want to share that with YouTube and your viewers. So even if it's hard to deal with it, and I totally understand that, you just kind of have to remember that you are the creator and you are putting out your own work that you're comfortable with. So it's just really a matter of being true to yourself, I guess, as cheesy as it sounds.
Hey, I know, but it's sometimes the cheesiest things are the most true. So.
Yeah, for real.
So Sean, I know you had a comment, so we'll go on to you next. But
yeah, I feel. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of most of the criticism that I see in my videos are on how I teach, and I like if it's somebody like that just is like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll get. I had one that was like last week that was like, you have no idea what you're talking about. This doesn't make any sense. And I'll pretty much always respond and say, okay, let me know if I can clear anything up for you. And a lot of the time they actually do. They don't realize someone's actually going to reply. So like the criticism is just them being like angry and ranting. And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And then we actually work together. But there's sometimes people who just spam or troll and they don't want help. They just want to complain. And at that point, I literally just block them because I was like, I would rather not have this sort of thing on my channel because they're not being helpful at all with this. So, the criticism that usually they don't actually mean to be like angry or mean about it, but when they are, I'm just going to remove it from the channel because that's not helpful.
Definitely good feedback. One question I specifically have. We can move on to trying to decide between Nolan, Kevin, or Brandon. Tough choice. Okay, we'll have Veronica choose. Which one? This is going to be for the question, should you ignore, ban, or respond to haters?
Oh.
We'll do Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon.
I mean, I get plenty of haters. I think it's funny. But I also am a really confident person naturally. So
you have some big hands.
Yeah, right.
Can we talk about that one?
My big man hands. Yeah, I get very random comments that are really, really vulgar. And a lot of times they'll be like, oh, you're the worst, explicit, and I'll just respond with like, cool, or just to really like, I don't really acknowledge the trolley type hate, but I'll do what I can to just kind of squash it. Like, I don't give into it. I'm just like, cool, sounds great. Or if they're like, oh, you're the worst editor ever. I mean, I know that I am confident in my editing abilities, so I don't take that criticism at all. It's just like, cool. I mean, I'm really excited to see, what a real editor looks like. So I'll go to their channel and realize they have no videos. So, okay, gotcha. Well, I was looking for a lesson. I like to just have fun with the criticism. So I've never blocked anybody. So I bring it on. So obviously, if you're watching the stream, don't go to my videos and start trolling me. But if you do, every so often,
going to your videos and start trolling you.
every so often, I'll respond to one and just kind of be lighthearted about it. But yeah, I have. This is not my full-time job. This is my extended hobby. So I have value in my career. I have value in my family, and I have fun in this community. So.
And real quick, so TC, Being one of the like few female YouTubers and just cubers, like, do you tend, like, how has that been? I don't want to say a struggle at all, but like, has that caused you to have to adapt or like react to like certain comments or anything like that?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I get a lot of actually new viewers too that are actually still surprised that I'm a girl, which is, I guess, understandable since I don't show my face. And I also get some comments asking if I'm a toaster. But I mean, it doesn't propose any like problems for me. I like at this point I'm really used to it, and it doesn't. And I notice that people don't really criticize me for it, so it hasn't really proved any problems. But I guess the only thing that it does for me is that it encourages other girls to just sort of take up the hobby or even start their own channel. So yeah, I don't think anything bad. The community has been really supportive of that, and they don't really, or they just don't know that I'm a girl. But either way, it hasn't really been doing anything bad for me. I think if anything, it's just really supporting the other female cubers out there.
And I was going to say too that one thing that I've, going off of one of the things you said, which is like some people, they're surprised that you're a girl because they don't show your face. It's like, it doesn't really matter. And that's why I think that we've established that cubing, like, your gender doesn't determine your times. Like, it's not really physically demanding hobby/sport. So when people, like having like, there isn't like fastest female, like it's not really a official title. But like, I think that just on that point is that like, it doesn't really matter. And when people leave those comments, a lot of them are young and stuff and they're learning, but like, it's not really needed. But that's why it is important that if you're going to put yourself out there, you have to be ready for any form of like weird comments or anything. Otherwise, just turn them off because, stuff happens and it's just, you can't always avoid it. But I think that reacting and allowing it to impact you or your content is letting them like win is like as cheesy as that sounds, but I think it is true. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to keep dragging on the same topic, so let's just hear from Nolan and then Kevin.
Yeah, so, and we're talking about criticism, right?
We are.
We're going back to that. Okay, great. So I think when I was...
What about you when Red left? Can you talk, like, did you receive any flack for that?
So sorry, can you repeat that?
When Red left the channel.
And it was, yes, that's something I received criticism too. Well, I guess criticism might not be the word. People aren't happy about that. And I hear about that a lot. And I think that, so when we were first starting the channel, every comment held a lot more value than it does now. I think when we first started getting negative comments was really like kind of a punch to the gut. When we had like around 100 subscribers, it was like, man, we really let this person down and we need to be better. And at this point, negative comments, I think a lot of the time, I don't ignore them, but I don't really respond to them either. And I'll kind of consider them and say, is this something that I can actually realistically fix with the channel? And if not, then that's it. If it is, then I'll think how can I make this better? But
yeah, I think there's not really like much more. I know we kind of expand on the topic so much, so we kind of like, there isn't much new. So I guess, Kevin, do you have anything that, like, another perspective to add? Yeah, and I want to make sure everyone can still hear everything because Veronica is saying that she might not be able to, but I guess we'll just continue until Oh, yeah, some people are saying they can't hear. So hang on one sec. Let me just check and see what happens. Well, now I can hear it, right? It seems like that we should be. Oh, I think that you actually had your mic muted, Kevin.
I mean, we could hear him in the.
Yeah, I know. That's true. I'm just. Yeah, sorry, I'm like talking to 4 different people right now too. But well, just to wrap up on this topic, because I do have one. Well, hang on. People are saying they can't hear. Hopefully, they can hear what I'm saying right now, which is just that now that like YouTube is giving people some like career opportunities, or at least the ability to help support their families and whatever. I think that it's important that. I mean, I think all of us started this off as a hobby, myself included, even with the store. But if you have the, if you're lucky enough to be able to turn it into like an income that you can use to either help support your family or reinvest into your channel, I think that some people need to consider. Like we deal a lot with customer service stuff, of course. So people will be really quick to jump to like the worst possible scenario and just kind of spread issues that don't really exist. It's like, I think it's important that people take into account that their negative comments could have an implication on somebody's hard work or, their livelihood to some extent. So it's like, yeah, well, it might be funny, and obviously, like trolling and stuff is a popular thing. It's going to happen. It's not the end of the world. But there's a difference in like trolling and just kind of random comments that you can brush off. And I think those people that, for whatever reason, like maliciously just have something like against you and just like are just trying to do like what they can to like deliberately hurt you, which I think that is something that inevitably it's going to happen. You're going to upset somebody somehow, some way. And it's just, accepting that and then being able to be the bigger person and being mature and not losing your composure is important. So with that being said, let's move on to the next topic. I was trying to get my little depressed while it's criticism talk. So what about face reveals? So Dylan, you revealed your face kind of like later on because you usually are focusing on like the cube or the product. So kind of what's your thought on face reveals?
I think I think it helps in terms of being successful as a content creator. It helps people know who you are and your personality, which can come through without people seeing your face. But the reason I did it was not because I like felt any pressure to do so. It's more like I knew I was going to do it eventually because I was always comfortable with that, and I just decided at some point I had to do it. So and at some point I had to like get used to talking in front of a camera if those types of videos I wanted to make as well. So it just seemed like something I was going to do eventually anyway. So it wasn't really a big deal. But I know there are some people who either choose not to reveal their face or are uncomfortable with that, and I think that's totally fine as well. It just depends on how you want to present yourself. If
So I guess on that note, you like you're big on animations. I mean, both you and Nolan, but typically you use animations to show yourself, Nolan. So I guess is there any reason behind that? Or is it just kind of more of like your style at this point?
I'm sorry that I'm having audio issues. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, it's just I asked that because you sometimes use animations to show yourself. I guess like, do you recommend that as an alternative to like a face reveal for some people, or do you think it just doesn't really matter one way or another?
Yeah. So, and just to confirm, you're asking if it's a good idea to have like my animated blue character as an alternative to a regular face reveal?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think that having both my face and Blue, the animated character, has opened a lot of doors for me content-wise, and it's given me a lot of opportunities to make new content. I think in the cubing community, we're kind of a special community where doing a face reveal or having any sort of character is not required and not necessary in order to make good content and be successful. You can you have your desk and you can do your puzzle reviews and tutorials and everything like that, and you can find a lot of success there. But by doing a face reveal, it gives you the opportunity to make new kinds of content like sketches, and you can do discussion videos with your face. And you can do those things without a face reveal, but it makes it easier if you do a face reveal. And
yeah, and I mean, like, look at TCKyewbs. I mean, she's immensely successful.
Right. By no means is a face reveal required to be successful, and you don't need like an alternative face like my animated character. But the animated character opens a different door of content I can make with animations. And I think that having that drawn character is more recognizable than if I just like took my own face and photoshopped it out and had an animation of that.
Hey, Nolan, people are saying they can't hear you.
That might be funny.
Wait, hang on. I don't know if these are old. They're saying they can't hear JPerm. So I don't know if these are old messages.
Yeah, it was just JPerm, I believe.
I think they're old.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like really old.
It's on slow.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
I'm going to comment about the face reveal, though, after.
Okay, yeah, go for it, Sean.
All right, well, Cubeorithms, were you all done?
Yeah, I'm good. Yep, go for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when I started, the first couple of videos, like, I actually didn't even have the audio. Like, I hated hearing my own voice, and I was trying to think why I didn't want to. First, I didn't want to talk just because I hated hearing my own voice, and I got used to that. It's just, I think, getting used to what it sounds like, not in your own head. But for the face reveal, I think I realized when I didn't show my face, I could get more to the point because it was just showing the cube, talking about it, and that was it. Once I showed my face, I had to really fight the urge to create a personality where I was like, "Hey, Sean here," and like do this whole elaborate thing and just be normal me. And that was just a really odd experience to see myself and try to be normal without being weird or different or crazy. So it was an odd challenge I didn't expect there to be.
For sure. So, if you have something to add, Brandon?
I was going to say, I think showing my face has hurt my channel. I mean, no one wants to see this.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Oh, come on. That's not true.
I mean, the big thing is my official hand reveal. You know, that's the real one. I mean, you all think this is legit, but just wait.
Well, so we're getting ready to move into part 2, but before I do that, in closing, I'm going to drop a big knowledge bomb on all of you guys. Just talking about, like, really what it's like to have a sponsorship, what's expected, and kind of how it works, because I feel like this can't be explained enough. It's our most popular question by far, that and where's my order? But so the first thing is that people always ask, how do I get sponsored? And my answer to that is that if you're asking that question, it's not bad, but it really speaks volumes when we have either an up-and-coming producer or somebody who already is established that approaches us and says, hey, here's what I can offer to you, and here's why we should work together, and here's how you're going to benefit, here's how I'm going to benefit, and it's going to be great. And if they can kind of show you like why they're going to be an integral part of my company, then I really look at that, and that speaks volumes for me. It's the biggest thing is like synergy. It should be mutually beneficial, a sponsorship. So the store will support the YouTuber or the WSA solver, but the topic is YouTubers for today. So we'll support you in exchange for you supporting us. It's not about being like a shill or being biased, but hey, if you want to have a sponsorship with a store, typically I always tell people that you need to believe in the product, whether that's cubing or whatever other hobbies you have. Is if you don't believe in the product or the company that you're working with, then it's not going to work out well, because you're then having to fake it to your viewers, and that goes back to the whole honesty thing that we talked about. So pretty much it's okay if you're starting out a channel and you don't have a sponsorship. And it's okay if you don't qualify for sponsorship off the bat. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Like being a part of Team SCS, for example, like you can get like new product releases, jackets and apparel. Now we have like the creator cubes that are coming out, and we have like our spring and summer open events, and all kinds of really cool stuff. And we try to really build on a community so that we can all help each other out and just do our part to contribute. So I think just the biggest thing is that provide value, do something, think outside the box, and just always work on improving yourself, your content, and supporting the store that is supporting you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on into part 2, which is we're going to take a look at some videos that have been submitted to us from some you guys, the audience. So we're going to take a look and give you some constructive feedback on, hey, like maybe you can do this better, or you're doing this awesome. And so it should be fun. I haven't seen these videos yet myself too, so we're all going in blind to keep it fair. So let's go ahead and see. I'm going to have the links fed in right here in a minute or two. So I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. Oh, look, that's the new SpeedCube shop video. How did I get there?
Shame.
Oh, and we're up to, let's see, how many views? Man.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're going in blind. I thought that was rules.
All right, well,
Reveal ID.
so here's the first video. So this is from CubeTribe.
I like the colors. Really pop.
Yeah. It's a little light on the audio, a little quiet. Intro's a little long.
I think it's cool. Is there audio?
I have audio on my end. Oh, can you guys not hear the audio?
No.
Huh, let me see. How would I fix that? Maybe if I take my headset out. Let's see. Then you guys get to enjoy the echo, so hang on 1 second.
You guys, I hope no one will get offended, so let's get right in.
Is that good or bad?
Maybe it's better than nothing.
Can everyone in chat hear it?
Oh, here, I should be able to link the audio, so hang on. Let me see how I can do that. Alright, I'm going to try to figure out what the best way to do the audio is. I know some people are saying they can hear it, so I don't know if that's with the headset being out or if they can just hear it on their end now. Okay. Put it on volume. Alright. We'll do it this way, so hopefully you guys can hear. So I'll start from the beginning.
What's up guys, it's CubeTime here. Today, we're going to be talking about some contradicting popular cubing opinions. So I was messing around, reading some stats on speedsolving.com, and I came to some pretty cool ideas, and I wanted to share them with you guys. I hope no one will get offended, so let's get right into it. Coming in the number 1 spot, we're going to be talking about G-perms. And it's understandable to hate GD and GC perms because of their readers. But GA and GD are some of my favorite perms. I mean, look at these smooth moves. Number 2, beginners shouldn't buy SpeedCubes. Okay, so let me ask this. Who said that? That's terrible. Everyone has the right to enjoy high-end cubes, and my first cube was a Can Air back when I averaged around a minute. So I think it's perfectly fine. Number 3, Rubik's Brand cubes are bad.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, they're decent for beginners. Okay, so hear me out on this. Which cube is worse, this cube or a Rubik's Brand? Comment your answer down below.
So,
I mean, I think it's hilarious. I enjoy it. So like, The only thing that distracted me was
and again,
the music.
YouTube channel, so you guys can all check him out. But yeah, I mean, I was saying that the audio was a little quiet off the bat. I thought intros didn't go long, but it's really good content.
Yeah, I think just going off of that, it wasn't really consistent. Like I really enjoyed the content too, but I think just consistency just sort of makes it or breaks it for me a little bit. And also, the first thing that stood out to me was that intro, like the really standard, just Google it an intro. Like I think a lot of people use it, so I think as soon as someone sees that, they think, oh, it's just like another like aspiring YouTuber with not really any of their own style. So yeah, it's cool if you want to use that and that's your preference. But as much as you can, I think just being able to have your own personality and your own ideas would be awesome too.
No, and I think going off of that, there was a lot of their own personality. I think that I really liked the amount of effort I could tell that went into the editing, as well as like the voiceover work. I think with a video of that nature, what was it called? 5 opinions or 5 unpopular cubing opinions, something like that. It'd be really easy to just like not put a ton of effort into it and just get something done. But I think that here, for the most part, they really went the extra mile. I like the part with the JPerms where he had all 4 on the screen at the same time. And just the editing, I thought was really good.
Yeah, I thought most of this video was really well done. So one thing I think that was really good that a lot of people can learn from this is that if you're starting out, I think it's better to have your videos be shorter, because if people see a low a low like a low video time or an unknown channel name, they're less likely to choose to commit to such a long video. And I think having it short and to the point is really good for that. Then the other thing was the attention to detail that Nolan talked about. And lastly, I think the longest an intro should be, in my opinion, some people may not agree, is 1 second. And if your intro is longer than 1 second, then it's just a waste of time. Because I know that I would not have watched the rest of that video after seeing that intro. But I'm happy I have seen it because the rest of it was great. I just don't think that that's a good first impression.
Interesting perspective. Does anyone have any final thoughts on this video from Cube Truck?
Yep. I mean, my only criticism is just the transition from the beginning to the intro to the content. You know, it didn't really feel like the audio from the beginning didn't really exist. Then they had the intro audio and then the content. You know, I like it to be consistent. So, but everything else was great.
Cool. I think we all. So we're going to take a quick break we're going to do some more of these videos in a second, but I want to do a bit of some trivia just to kind of re-engage with the audience. We haven't done these and everyone seems to enjoy them. So we're going to be doing giveaways for all the trivia winners. So if you guys were here for the free stuff, this is now your time to shine. So the way that we're going to do it is I think that I will speak the riddle, and then maybe what I can do is actually type it and share my screen, have it be on a Word doc. You think that makes sense? So let's see. I'll go ahead and type it out as I write it. YouTube description. So All right, so we're going to go ahead and with that said, do the first question. So the first riddle is that it's a blind pick, first in line. It is not a car, and it was used a long time ago. And then remember, everyone, us, we shouldn't answer. We're going to leave it up for the chat to answer.
Can you repeat it?
Yep, so it's a blind pick, first in line. It is not a car. It was used a long time ago. I'll post the answer in our private chat. So we should all be able to...
Yeah, I guessed it right.
Oh, see? Father JPerm, always coming with the knowledge.
Thanks, Daddy.
So let's see.
That was kind of hard though.
Wait.
Very cryptic, but
Wait.
all the clues are there. If you know it, you know it.
I'm looking at the chat. I don't. Oh, wait. Which chat?
Oh! I'm trying to see some correct answers. Hang on. So let me back up.
Oh.
Wait, can we? Okay, in our private chat, can you just say who you think is the first one who got it?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes, you guys can help me.
I would have never gotten this.
I'm horrible at riddles, so I'm glad that I'm not the one making them.
It makes sense now that I see it.
They have to get the main part of the name right?
I think that I would give it to this guy.
Yeah, that's the one I saw as well.
Yeah. Okay, so can we announce it?
Yeah, sure. Announce it, and then I think we'll explain the answer after.
Yeah. So Reginald Aggregato, you are the winner, and he answered with GTS, which the answer was the Moyu Weilong GTS version 1. So you want to elaborate on how you deduced that, Dylan?
I can. JPerm, you there?
No, our riddle master's gone.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming you said it was first in line, right?
It was blind pick because lots of blind solvers, fast blind solvers, use this cube. First in line. It's not a car because GTS is a common racing term, and it's used a long time ago. It's a way long.
Used way long ago.
Yeah. Puns are the best. So yeah, like I said, they're not easy riddles. They're a lot more difficult than the ones we had last time, but I think they're fun. So let's see. So people are complaining about this. So with the slow mode, so Reginald, I say that you're posting that you win. Make sure that you're putting your email address in your YouTube channel bio, so that way we can go and get you your gift card emailed. Now, regarding the slow mode,
unless he feels comfortable giving his email out in the stream.
Yeah. So we had this issue last time with the slow mode. It's not a perfect system, but I think turning off slow mode is going to be impossible. So I think we waited long enough now to where everyone's done guessing for the first riddle. So we'll go ahead and do the second one for another $15 gift card. So this is, you guys all ready? It is all for one. I am number 4. Not for sale, and democratically elected. So this one is tough. I'm going to post it. If someone gets this, I'm going to be super impressive. And
Say it again?
Can we post the question in the chat or something?
Yeah, it's actually going to be loading up, but I can still share the screen. I'm just trying to figure out if the questions are going to be showing. Like the clues will be showing up on the chat stream, like underneath our logo. So for right now, I'll just share my screen, and I hope this doesn't boot anybody.
I don't know how anyone's going to get this, to be honest. So.
I'm putting in the chat what I.
What's the question?
Okay, so here we go.
That's my
Here
guess
it
in the
is.
chat, in our chat.
Well, okay, so I showed it for this one, but I think we might have a better solution. So, oh, whoops, that's not good. Okay, so again, all for one. I am number 4, not for sale, and it's democratically elected. I think I'm gonna give a hint on this one because no one's really on the right track. Do you guys think that's fair?
I don't think anyone's
Yeah,
thinking
that
about
sounds
it.
good.
They're just guessing random cube names.
So it pertains to one of the streamers right now who may or may not be roasted. And he's my friend. And my CubeSolve daddy. Whoops. So I wonder if this is gonna elicit any better guesses. So okay, guys, it pertains to CubeSolveHero. We have the my screen is what's being showed.
Oh, I think
So,
someone got it.
Oh no way! Really?
I'll type here who I think got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see it too.
That's correct. Yeah.
Does anyone see an earlier one?
I don't think so.
What time was that one sent?
Wow.
I mean, if you want to go specific,
142.
142.
So like right now.
I saw one at 140.
Who is it?
We're still trying to decide. So was it the person that we thought?
I can't scroll up that far
Or
in chat, so I don't know.
TCs? Well, you're saying you saw it on TC. Maybe should we give it to both? Because this was a tricky one. We'll give it to both. How about that? So Braden McKay and Board Videos. The answer was the CubeSolveHero Community Cube number 4. Can't believe you guys didn't get that. Come on. You gotta get in on your CubeSolveHero knowledge. Like I said, we're going hard mode on these. So, we're cranking up the heat from last stream. So, all right, let's go ahead. I'm gonna space this out a little better. Okay. Let's see what the reception's like in the stream. Did he bake an egg? I love like how I just pop in and out of like the chat, and there's just like the most random things in here.
That last one was too hard because when I watch CubeSolveHero's videos, I always just like delete them from my brain afterwards.
Oh.
So let's explain the methodology behind that. So the all for one portion right here is because CubeSolveHero's fans get to decide one cube. I am number 4 because it's the 4th community cube. Not for sale, it's only acquired by CubeSolveHero's giveaways. And democratically elected because the CubeSolveHero viewers get to decide on which cube is the one. So, all right. You guys ready for this one? I think will be, I don't want to say easier, but I think more people will get this one. So let's see. So next trivia question.
Wait, can we make slow mode less slow? What's it on right now?
Yes, it's on 300 right now.
Holy.
Okay.
I don't know if we're doing these questions like just far enough for someone to answer one and then the other.
Okay, let's go ahead and I can edit the slow mode right now. I'm trusting you on this. Oh no, actually we're at 120.
What are the options?
Anywhere between 0 and 300, I believe.
Okay, make it like 30 for now.
All right.
Someone said Dino Cube.
Oh well, okay. We already had a winner
Yeah.
for this one. So
Tobias Waters.
yeah, Tobias Waters already got Dino Cube before I even got a chance to break it down. So I told you, my man Tobias.
Extinct. I didn't even read this.
Hey, Hey, JPerm. Remember these right here?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, that was so.
Why do you have
that was
one?
a good one.
Because you gave one to me.
Oh, really? That's one less that can go to somebody who deserves it. No, I'm kidding, man.
Roasting
I'm gonna-
pizza here never ends.
I'm gonna sell it. It's the highest
Okay.
bidder.
My feelings are indirectly hurt. But okay, with that being said, we'll segue into the next one while I watch this illustration of Sean. You're awfully quiet over there, Nolan. Are you not a riddles man?
No, I'm definitely a riddles man. I'm just thinking.
Oh. All right. Well, okay. We're gonna go on the fourth one. I love how I'm like I haven't figured out a better way to like keep this posted consistently than to continuously update the spacing and the font. All right. So get a grip, Dark Soul, Crown Jewel, and Frost Queen. This one's gonna be tough again. I'm gonna post the answer in our private chat so we can all chuckle while you guys try to guess it.
Oh, I know who it is. Is it a certain someone?
Oh,
Is
jeez.
it a who or is it a what? Yeah, this is gonna be a tricky one.
I don't understand
Oh, that's
any of
the
these
one.
hints.
Well, I'll post
I hope someone does.
the. I'll post the.
I already see an answer.
Yeah, I think someone got it.
Wow, man, you guys are good at riddles. I popped out of the. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm starting to see it too. Which one did you guys? Yeah, I think I found it. Is it this guy? Do you guys agree?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
Okay.
I don't know. You
What?
guys can.
I'm pretty sure it's him. I'm not seeing because it was all the last answer before that.
That sounds right.
So
Yeah, that's
Larsum 19 with the Sheng Chao gem. So for those of you wondering, get a grip refers to the frosted texture that gives it a distinct kind of grip and feel. Dark Soul, because the cube has black internals. Crown Jewel is the reference to the gem name, and Frosted is reference to the frosted texture.
So who's the winner?
So Larsum 19 is the winner.
I would have never gotten that.
I'm horrible at riddles, so I wouldn't have gotten any of these. Did
I'm
you
just
find it,
blanking
Ryan,
on
or
all
did you
of them.
send it? I just sent it to you. Okay, let's move on to the next one. These are. It's fun for me when I'm not the one having to answer it. I like being like the game, like the. What's that? What are those movies? The Jigsaw. Except these are not gruesome.
Are these all cubes?
Saw.
Yeah. So okay, we have another one. This one is gonna be interesting. All right. Uh-oh, too big. So yeah, they are all cubes. His siblings live in the sand. No longer a Highlander. Wrongfully abbreviated. And flagship. You guys can start guessing in the chat. And I'll post the answer on our private chat for you guys to.
Can you tell them to send me
They already got it.
You're supposed to be posting. Someone already got it? Man.
Yeah, they're not, and it's hard.
Looks like people are getting it.
Okay. Well. Okay. People are good at riddles. I think. All right, I got the next one. But the winner is it? Did the same guy win twice? Oh wait, no.
Well, if he did, then he deserves it. These are hard riddles.
He guessed it correctly, but he wasn't the first one. I think that guy is the winner. The answer being the Moyu GTS WRM. So his siblings live in the sand refers to that its worm is what people kind of like refer to it as like WORM. No longer a Highlander. So reference the removal of the ridges or the highland. I think of Star Wars when I hear that. And wrongfully abbreviated. So Moyu was kind of got a bit of flack for the fact that WR it's been world record or without ridges. So it's, that's been a bit of a confusing point. And flagship is it's currently Moyu's flagship cube. So I have one more for you guys.
I saw somebody guess crab cube, and that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, same.
Crab cube. Okay, so I have, let's see the next one.
Maybe type the answer in the chat before you say it. That way we can actually look for it immediately.
Okay, so the next question is, for a $15 gift card, why did the chicken cross the road?
Well, that's just subjective, isn't it?
And that's what makes it so difficult. This is hard mode now. Oh, KiwiCuber got it. To get to the other side, I'm taking it. All right, KiwiCuber, you have a $15 gift card with your name on it.
That was probably the most deserved one.
I was completely overthinking it.
Yeah, so we're just making sure that we're catching up. Okay, so we're getting the next real one ready. Okay, so official question 6. Let's see. All right, this one is going live now. Okay, so older brother by a big gap. Blue and green are his favorite colors. And keeping it stable. 4.74.
I already got this, I think.
Did we only need one of those hints?
Well, we're just dialing back a little bit for people. Let's see. So, did someone? I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. So, okay. I think I'm seeing. So this is lots of correct answers. I think that Peanut Cuber got this one, with the answer being the vault. And I don't think we need to go into much explanation as to why this is the answer it is. This one was a bit more obvious. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. But should I let the chat catch up for a second? Come on, Sean.
Whoopsie. That's what happened to me in the last stream.
What are these buttons?
So, let's see. Can someone post? Okay, I'm trying to see like hi DailyCuber and stuff. So I just want to make sure people are saying the chat is. Are you finding them okay, Veronica?
Them posting their email in the chat is the same as posting on their profile. It's easier for me.
Yeah, that's true. It's a lot
million.
easier if the winner can post their email in the chat. If you guys are comfortable with that. If not, you can post on YouTube channel. But it does make it a lot easier for us to get you your gift card. So if you're comfortable and you're a winner, and you can post your email address in the chat, that would help us a lot. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to think for the slow mode. I mean, there's always lots of complaints, but we're on a 30-second delay between messages, which I think is pretty fair. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Okay, are you playing the guitar over there, Sean? I knew it.
Not a guitar.
Yeah, that's definitely a guitar if I've ever seen one. All right, let's do the next one then. So first, Clue, mind the gap. No vortex. Shared interest with 4x4. No logo sticker. I wish we could play music. It's like that Jeopardy music.
Q-Sean.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
Of course,
It's actually
of
helpful
course he
a lot.
knows how to play this.
Yeah. Oh, I already see the correct answer. Let's see. Yep. This is a weird username. TFOR24. You're the winner with the answer being Void Cube. If you could do us a favor and post your email address in the chat. If not, make sure it is public on your YouTube channel. And that way we can make sure to get you over your gift card code. Veronica is in the chat right now. So if any of you from previous winner you want to make sure that we got your email, feel free to just check that in the chat and she'll do what she can to make sure you're good on that. So for those that are wondering, mind the gap references the gap created from the removal of the centerpieces. No vortex, because you can't apply a core lubricant, being that there is no core. Shared interest with 4x4, they both have parities caused by unfixed centers. And no logo sticker, because there are obviously no centerpieces to apply a logo sticker to. So that was a fun one. Question 8. Hang on, I want to make sure I fully understand this one. No, I didn't write them, but I've not seen like a specific answer for this one. Well, how about this? I'll post it and then I'll let people guess one, make sure. So, okay, question 8. Coming at you. So, famous pop song, good eyesight, it's all Greek to me, one of Sean's cubes. One of Sean's signed cubes. Can you cue music, please, Sean? I like this one.
Oh, shit. Is this the music?
Sean can play this at my wedding.
Yes.
While they're waiting for your answer, for like, do you? And you're like, we're just all waiting.
How specific do they have to get?
Well, I posted the answer in our private chat.
Right.
Oh gosh.
I think this is our last question, so I want to end on a high note.
Oh, I see someone.
And then we're gonna. Oh, you see someone? Who'd you see, Tiffany? TC. Well, we'll just post it. It was. All right, Sean. Yeah. Okay.
I think a lot of people know already. I was yeah, no big deal.
All right, because I was about ready to go and jump out my window. Well, do we have a winner for this one officially? For the last riddle. I'm scrolling around too. Okay, so I'm at the very beginning now.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, that's the one I saw. Sean.
Okay, so we have the winner. Winner is Ofik Ging, with the answer being VCube 6x6. So there it is, and so the references: famous pop song referencing Kevin Hayes, his giant pop when almost getting the world record for 6x6.
Did that guy?
Good eyesight, 6'6" for perfect eyesight, which references a 6x6. It's all Greek to me. VCube is a Greece-based company that JPerm works for. Fun fact. One of Sean's signed cubes. It is actually signed by Kevin Hayes. So there you go. Whoops.
That guy was the winner.
Not just garbage. You're absolute garbage. the absolute garbage.
Well, if you were garbage, Sean, I'd still like pick you up and eat out of the trash can like I do for lunch every day.
I love that people still comment and act like I'm roasting or hating on JPerm. I'm like, I reached out to Dylan for all those questions. So, yeah. Anyway.
Well, so that was the last real question. I think we start wrapping up the live stream. So why don't we just for like the next, I don't know, you guys up for like 5-10 more minutes of just answering some just crazy questions that like, or we'll open up the chat. Cool. So that'll be fun. So we'll just leave it up to like an open Q&A. So should we turn off the chat delay and just let it be like?
Yeah, keep the delay. So
UIOP.
yeah.
Who?
Qwordy. I need his. I need that guy.
Oh, so actually, Veronica has an announcement of whose emails we still are missing.
Qwordy.
Qwordy? How do you spell that?
QWERTY.
Oh, like QWERTY keyboard. Yeah.
I need that guy.
That's not a word I think I've ever like spoken. And who else? And that guy. We need your email.
And then I need the last person.
And then the last winner, which was Ofik Game. We need your emails. So while you guys are getting your emails together, we will open up the just open Q&A panel. So make sure you comment like who the question's for, and then what the question is. Sure, go for it.
Oh, poppers.
Is there left? For sure.
Yep. I think, and if I can add something here, and my camera died, so I don't have my visuals, but I'm drawing some beautiful artwork. While you're making reviews, sometimes it can be challenging to think about what to talk about or what points to even make.
Couldn't hear anything.
And you can do
Are they not able to hear Sean, or is something wrong?
You're saying.
Well, while you're doing that,
Okay. Are we good? Can we hear Sean?
So, it's weird that we can hear you, but they can't. Okay, so can they hear me? Well, I see people asking about the pocket timer, and I have no idea when that will be released or for how much. So that's an easy one.
I have a few things that have come in through here. first things first. Hand reveal is coming at 50,000 subs. I can't do it any sooner. So I'm like almost there, anyways. So and also Community Q5 is at 50,000 subs, so I have to do those two things at the same time. Also, I have a Discord, so you have to join the Discord. I've already put a link in the description. I'm on my way to 3,000 people in there, so yeah.
Oh, and subscribe to the up-and-coming SpeedCube Shop YouTube channel. Follow your favorite meme reviews.
The upcoming channel?
Yeah, we're the new up-and-coming. You better watch yourself, buddy.
Oh, up and coming. You said upcoming. I thought you were making a new one.
Oh, well, maybe we are, but maybe we definitely are not.
Leave the cubing meme reviews to cubing encoded. I think he'll like that.
Yeah, no, I'll just stick to making some cool quality content.
I tried doing a whatever it's called, one of those things where I react to things, and it was terrible. So I will not be doing.
They're wanting a foot reveal from you, Dylan. So
Oh, don't worry about it. I already did that. If they were a true fan, they would know which video to find my foot in. There is one video on my channel that just happens to have my foot in it. So go find it.
If not, I'm gonna leak it when you come visit next time.
Yeah, or you can do that, but
it'll be like a selfie, and it's like it'll be like a foot in the background, and like people will put together like all the pieces,
all the clues, and who the person
can make that. Yeah. So let's see. Do another 5 minutes of answers or however long you guys want to go. It's getting hungry for some lunch. Gonna get some wings today.
I need to.
Somebody asked SpeedCube Shop, will he be able to sponsor someone who lives in England?
Yeah, we sponsor people worldwide.
Do you have examples of cubers you sponsored from like outside the US? Just to name a few.
You?
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Well, okay. Canada is like America Light. Can you name one that's farther away?
Ian, he's in Canada. He's proud of it. I think we need to figure out and dissect the whole is Canada part of the U.S. thing, because I'm still kind of stuck on that.
If that's part of the U.S., give me some of your healthcare, please.
Everyone wants to know about JPerm's personal life and if you've ever had a girlfriend.
Oh yeah, I do. That's all I'm gonna say about that question.
You don't want to tell them about us, Dylan?
They can't hear me, so I'm gonna say it's CubeSolveHero. I'm spoiling it.
What?
Sorry?
We just outed your guys' secret relationship.
Oh yeah, it's CubeSolveHero.
Yeah.
That's why he's okay with me roasting him so much, because he knows it's okay.
Yeah, you always treat the person you like like garbage, right?
But not absolute garbage like Sean.
Ooh. Oh, that's true.
Well, I'm in the middle of a really fast 3x3 solve that felt a lot faster than it was. Well, I think that we should definitely we'll do more of these streams. I think we've established people enjoy them, so maybe next time everybody can decide to not stream. Other people won't stream at the same time, so we could have more people come and enjoy. But now, it'll be. Oh, whoops! I apologize for the loud cue. That was the MS 3x3 from Shady, available for pre-order on SpeedCube Shop. So I guess we'll leave it up to you guys. You can leave in the comments of this stream. Who do you want to see on stream next? What topics do you want? And ultimately, did you enjoy this? I think that we covered in a lot of really important information that, where could you really get this kind of just open discussion? Truthfully, we covered a lot of really important topics. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and Nolan's got some nice drawings there. I love it.
Thanks.
Oh, it's
Thanks,
blue now.
Nolan.
I like the hat.
Yeah, so I had lots of fun, and I think I'm speaking for everybody when I say that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream as much as we did. We'll see you in the next one, and like I said, be sure to leave your comments on what you want to see as a topic for the next stream. So hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to go eat some wings, so we'll be seeing you guys in the next one.
All right,
Bye,
bye guys.
All right, bye, everyone.
Peace.
Then we go to. So now we're ending the stream.